Hey guys, this is DFD, aka Dark Frozen Deaths, back with another Kamihime project video. I did recently do an Epic 7 video, if people want to check that out. It pretty much shows a little bit of the progress of my team on there. But, anyways, getting on this is a video I did want to do, because this has just come out on DMM, so I'm kind of curious about all this stuff as well. I've been hearing so much about these souls. They're pretty broken, but they take a lot to unlock. We'll get into it a little bit. But keep in mind, this is on content that hasn't hit Nutaku. And then from what I'm hearing, DMM is getting an English version as well, but it's going to pick up where the Nutaku version left off. I have no clue what that means. Nutaku version is going to shut down or not. If it did, we probably would be able to transfer our data over there or something like that. But that's the whole thing. It shouldn't shut down the Nutaku version, but who knows? But if you do go to the English side of DML and try to play it, you're probably starting over. So be prepared for that if that's the case. Also, something else to mention as well. This is still content that is on the Japanese version of DMM. So even if you went over there, I don't think this is going to be there for the English side. So keep that in mind. I could be wrong, but chances are it probably won't be. But anyways, now, those of you that's been playing the game for a while already know about souls and whatnot. They added another layer of souls, which is better than the ones we have. Right now, we have the standard, then we have the elite souls, and then we have the legendary ones. They're getting renamed. Standard's going to be C class, elite's going to be B class, and the legendary's going to be A class. There's going to be one that's even higher, which is S class, and these are going to be extremely hard to unlock. I don't know if I can go over full details on which one, but we're going to check them all out. And they only have 5 S-Class ones, so they're probably going to add more. Because when you think about the A-Class ones, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's probably going to be another update for the others. But from what I'm already looking at, these ones are insanely strong. Just looking at the level up bonuses is pretty damn nice. I mean, the one that's going to be based off of Arthur is going to end up having a base increase of 5,000 attack power. And then you get a mastery bonus of 4% with them as well. The healer I've seen was pretty good. We're going to go over them all. But this one's looking like it's going to be named Charlemagne. And she doesn't look too bad. Honestly, I like the sword design too. A rainbow sword? That's new. And then you need 5 levels of release items, I do believe, in order to get her, along with a maxed out Arthur. And it even says Arthur dedicated weapon required, meaning I think you do need the soul weapon. But hopefully we can go over what you need to unlock them. I don't know. There's not too much info on that. But just looking at all this stuff, they're probably going to get multiple abilities that you can possibly set too. So there are like interchangeable ones by the looks of things. But here we go. First things first. The burst still depends on the weapon and equipment, unfortunately. The initial ability, it's like Arthur's, only it comes with a burst of performance increase as well, so it gives you more reason to use it when it's off a cooldown if you haven't done a full burst by then. So it's going to increase our burst performance along with filling up the gauge all the way. Since this is initial, it's not going to be a one you can set as an EX skill. Now, the changeable ones look like they just might be in the EX skills. I don't know. If they did it like before, these are going to be EX skills, and there's going to be a total of 6 of them. So yeah. The first one unlocked at level 5. Well, the first 3 unlocked at level 5. The first of those, you get to use every 6 turns. It lasts for 150 seconds, but you get an oversized defense down. I don't have full details of this, but considering the fact that a large one was like 20%, this might be 25 or even 30%. So yeah. There's also a stackable buff where you also deal damage. You can use it every 3 turns. Since it's 15 turns, I think it's going to be at least 100%. So yeah, I think it's like a 20% stack. I don't know if it's AoE or not. It doesn't really say right here. Then the third one you get at level 5 is effect for 3 turns, but its uses for 7. So you get your own combo rate up, consumes 20 burst gauge, and you also deal damage to an enemy. So I don't know if it's going to end up being guaranteed or not, but considering that it's trading off 20 burst gauge, you probably should be getting quite a bit. Now, when you hit level 15, these 3 abilities pop up. A 5-turn usage, 3-turn effect, participation attacker up, oversized. So I think that's an AoE attack buff, which will probably be at least 30%. Then there's one that's usable every 6 turns, but for 1 turn it's an increase where your attack damage up and your upper damage limit is up for 1 time. So I think that's going to be at least 100%. Again, I could be wrong. This is just my speculation on it. Then on top of that, you also have this one where 6 turns, 3 turns cooldown, allied emergency attack probability up, which means it's probably a critical buff, but it also consumes 20 burst gauge. So yeah. So she's going to give you a multitude of ways to really spike your damage output, so that's not bad. But the fact that we're coming in with another defense down, I'm pretty sure that once you get her, you can hit the defense cap with anybody. I'm pretty sure of that. Then, of course, it can set an EX ability. So, yeah. And then there's the assist abilities where it says continuous attack probability up, so higher combo rate. I don't know if that's AoE or not. And then allies attack up, so she gives pretty much an assault. So that's not bad. That's not bad. It is impressive, but it's not too much unless I get the actual data. Because you see all of this is right here. A lot of people just don't have it in yet. But it is looking kind of promising. Especially with the fact that she can increase her own burst attack power. Okay, so Romulus Defense. So when you cap her off, it's going to end up being 25% defense increase, and then 500 raw HP, which is very good actually. And then she gets another 4 for the mastery. Assuming you got it from all these other ones too, her defense is going to be like a good 40%. I'm pretty sure. But okay, let's go here. Of course, there's a burst, which is based on the weapon and all that. We already know. Her fixed skill, 6-turn usage, 1-turn cooldown, a raw damage cut of 60%. Okay, so there's a raw damage cut of 60%. Oh, okay, there's a few of them that's right here. Alright, so raw damage cut is 60%. Sorry for the hesitation on that one. I'm trying to go over a few things as I look at this. This is new to me, too. But, yeah, if you had Jones' lance weapon, which was the flags, that's what this is, pretty much. Just in one flat boost. It's not like a double boost. So, yeah, 60% damage cut. And then on top of that, level 5, you'll get a 7-turn with a 5-turn interval, double attack increase with regen. So this is like Michael's buff, possibly with a regen attached. That's actually pretty good. Definitely beats out the one that Joan had. Although, of course, you can also put a self buff increase for 5 turns, and it's got a 6-turn cooldown. It's almost got 100% uptime, where it will be, and it says owned, so it definitely looks like a self-defense buff up, oversized, which means it's probably 30%, with an attract, and then on top of that, it gives herself a regen. I wonder if it's going to be a stronger regen than the other one. And then there's a two-turn effect one that you can use every 6 turns. It's going to end up being a, let's see here. Cover your own defense up. So it will spike her defense even higher. Excuse me. It'll spike her defense even higher and then also cover damage from everybody. So it'll pretty much attract all the single target damage to her, or the random targeting ones. AoE is not going to do a thing with that one, so. Then there's a 7-turn, 180 seconds for 7 turns. That is a 3-minute. Yeah, that might actually have some very good uptime if you're even decently fast enough. But this level 15 one, oversized attack down, so that's at least 25%, I'm pretty sure. It could be 30%. Excuse me. But, let's see here. 6-turn usage, 3-turn effect. Give me a response to the enemy at once. I have no idea what that translates to, unfortunately. It could be an evade, it could be a counterattack, I don't know. That just seems a little too vague. This is where Google Translate kind of sucks. But, let's see here. The last one, 5 turns. So deals damage and lowers 1 charge turn for an enemy. So she's got an orb removal. I don't know why it's showing her instead of the other one that's based off of Mordred, if they have her. But that's not bad. And then, of course, EX skill. Passives, damage attack up, cumulative possibility. So it seems like every time she gets hit, her attack power goes up. So she's definitely a counterattacker. I'm pretty sure that that 3-turn buff she can give is a counterattack. But defense of whole ally up. So an AoE defense increase. So that's not bad. And keep in mind, defense is different from damage cut, so it's not like a raw damage removal. Like, I would say 10% defense means you probably take like maybe 95% damage or something like that. I don't know. Because honestly, 400% defense means that you're going to take 20% of the damage you normally would. That's how that factors in. It's not like a raw damage cut where it's just direct. Damage cut would slip and knock that down to 40% outright from the 60%. That's how that works. She's not bad defensively and all that type of stuff too. Plus, that attack down. Oh boy. These two will make it very interesting because you can get one and have the EX skill from the other more than likely. And that will give you attack and defense where it will just be pretty much a huge drop in attack and defense on the enemy. Definitely gives you a lot more openings for your team, so depending on how strong it is. Okay, so this one's a new healer. So it puts, I don't know how to pronounce it, 25% recovery, 100 HP for every 5, so that's 500 raw HP for recovery, standard stuff. They have nothing on her. But oh boy, I've seen a little bit of this one. This is a very, very, very good one by the looks of this. So let's go over it. Her fixed ability, everybody gets healed. It's oversized, so considering Andromeda can hit like 1600 on her own, I think this one's at least 2000. It's at least 2000. I'm certain of it. If it is like soul level healing, that is insane. Then she gets an oversized defense up to everybody. I don't know why this isn't on the defensive ones, but okay. But that's a 3-turn effect for every 6 turns, so it's got like a 50% cool. It's got a 50% uptime if you really do that. Eliminate 1 fortifying effect across all enemies. So remember Chaos Magic? Yeah, it's AoE with her. Usable every 5 turns. And it says HP recovery of allies alone. So, I don't know. Does she have 2 healing abilities if you want it like that? Then every 7 turns she's got an AoE revive. Or you can go for an auto revive to everybody and have it up every 12 turns. And you can also generate a cure bottle, which is kind of like Dion's set, the new Thunder Healer that just came out on our version. What that does, you know how some enemies drop a potion? She pretty much generates one of those at will every 7 turns. So, extra potions. Consider it emergency healing, and then keep in mind, potions can actually be pretty powerful because of the fact that they're a percentage healing. They don't care about the healing caps and whatnot. They will heal you based on the percentage of your max HP. So while you're weaker, you might be getting like maybe 300, but when you start getting a lot of HP, you might start getting heals of 4,000 or 5,000. So yeah. Speaking of which, her assist abilities, she's got a self HP recovery, so she is always in regen. That is very welcome for healers. You want your healers to stay alive if you're using them. And you might want to use this one anyways, because I don't think you're dying with her anytime soon. If it is possible to get both those revives up, you're not dying with her. I don't care what anybody says. Because you can AoE revive, and then there's an auto revive on top of that. An AoE auto revive. This is like an AoE version of Andromeda mixed with an AoE version of Atum. Mixed with a little bit of Dion Set, about a third ability. So, yeah. But the bigger thing too, maximum HP up for all friends. So this is an AoE defender increase. Holy shit. I'm liking her already. I will say this, you probably don't need a healer once you unlock her. You probably don't. I'm not surprised that she can outdo Soul, and that's saying something since Soul is known as one of the most potent healers in the game. I think her Wind one even plays upon it even better, but I'm not sure. We are way far away from the Wind one. Okay, let's see what the fourth one is, because this is where things start getting interesting. This one's based on ability damage, so she's like Solomon. And holy crap, is it going to be really spiked by the looks of it. So she gets a raw attack power of, wow, she's very cute, but she gets a raw attack power of 2,500, and her ability damage is increased by 25%, along with the mastery bonuses, which she gives an 8% bonus. That is a lot. Naturally, you need Solomon's weapon. I don't think that's going to be too hard getting Solomon's weapon, because if anybody's doing anything for the tower to handle the earlier floors, you're going to have a few Solomon weapons anyways. But let's see here. First initial skill is holy shit, because 10 times attribute damage to the enemy, period, point blank. She's got a single target 10 times multiplier nuke. If you are hitting the burst cap, she's dealing that level of damage at will for every 6 turns. That is insane. Then on top of that, getting into her next 3 abilities, Solomon's Ring with hers AoE. And if there is another case where we fight phantom enemies, this can be very, very powerful. Let's see here. Oh, wow. So she deals damage based on an attribute, and then that same attribute gives a resistance down to an enemy for 180 seconds, usable every 7 turns. So, depending on the weapon you have her, will determine what element she debuffs for elemental resistance. That is insane. Wow. So she's like an elemental defense debuff right then and there. Holy crap. Okay, so now let's see here. The third one you get at level 5. And this is some early abilities too. They're strong. Involuntary obsession activated 3 times. I don't know what that means. Available after 5 turns of battle. Available in battle 1 time. So wait, does that mean her first skill goes off 3 times? If I'm reading this right? What? She can do a 30 times nuke in one what the holy. Please tell me I'm wrong about that one, because if I'm not, holy mmm. Well then. Anyways, level 15. See, 5 turn, 3 turn, ability performance up. So she gives an AoE elaborate, a large AoE elaborate. That's not too bad. Second skill, self attribute damage, own attribute attack. That. Oh wow, oh wow. Yeah, remember when I was talking about when depending on her weapon, she'll give an elemental resistance debuff. Well, she also gives an elemental attack debuff as well based on her own weapon. But it says advantage attribute down. So I think what it's going to do is this. Say you have a water weapon on her, it will lower water resistance with the one skill, but then lower fire attack with the other one. If I'm reading that right, that is powerful. And then the Zek skill is powerful as well because every 8 turns you can lower the ability cooldown for everybody by 1. Holy shit. And then I don't know what this Reckless Obsession is. It says the entire ability damage limit for all is up. So somehow, some way, she can keep getting ability damage up for everybody. And then she naturally does it with her other assist abilities. She's just all about nuking. Does she even need more ability damage? If I'm reading this correctly, she can do a 30 times nuke. A 30 times multiplier. Because you're hitting them 3 times. Although it's only active in battle 1 time. Period. That is still strong. And still no info on that one. Oh my god. I'm not gonna lie, she is gorgeous, she is powerful, she might just bring ability damage back into the meta. Holy crap. 30 times nuke. That is like 3 Kamihime doing a burst cap level full burst or something. That is wow. That is wow. Okay, let's see what this one is. Because this one's based off of Siegfried, which is... Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Siegfried's kind of So, geez, she's ready to kill somebody. Let's see here. 2500, gauge suppression plus 15. I don't know if that's a raw gauge removal or not. But given that she gives an attack mastery bonus, that's pretty good. Naturally, you need the Siegfried weapon and all that type of stuff. That's the one that might be a little bit trouble because not too many people would even go after Siegfried's weapons. So let's see if she's actually worth it. But it says 6 turns, 1 turn, my status is greatly improved. So I'm guessing she'll spike her complete output or something on that one. Probably damage or something like that. And then let's see here. Level 5, 6 turn usage interval. So 6 turn cooldown, 2 turns uptime. Attack damage to the enemy in the state of an entire stand, all damage upper. I don't know what this means. My guess is she'll damage everybody. I guess she'll damage all the enemies, but also give you a damage increase, a damage limit increase. Then on top of that, she'll give a Moj gauge reduction and a damage limit up to everybody. Oh wow, she can do that too. That's also 6 turn cooldown, 2 turn uptime, 8 turn cooldown, 5 turn uptime. Whole team is assured to attack on the spot, and also dishes out a defense down. I don't know if it's to the enemy or to your allies. But what? Is that a guaranteed critical for 5 turns? What? I don't understand this. See, this is why I still need more info. But let's see here. Level 15, 8 turns, cooldown. So she's got a chance to stun. Either that or that's a guarantee to do it. Holy shit. Let's see here. 6 turn cooldown, 3 turn uptime. Mo gauge increase of all enemies. Burst gauge increase of all allies. What? It says I immediately activate normal attack for every 4 turns. I don't know what that means. If enemies are enraging, she can increase the combo rate for everybody. Or no, probably for herself. And then when the enemy's stunned, everybody's attack power goes up. Holy crap. She's gonna be a stun nuker too. Okay, so yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about her. I definitely need more info, but some of the stuff she has is definitely interesting. Especially this one. Decreases Mo gauge and increases your own burst gauge. That is a very interesting one. Or at least speeds up the burst gauge increase. And then you got an upper damage limit with the Mo gauge reduction. She could probably just eat through raging meters. She could probably just eat through them like butter. But yeah, that's the last of them. That'd be Hector, and they call her Medea. The other one, Medea Acepo. I don't know how to pronounce that. So, yeah. That's pretty much it for this little sneak peek, basically. If I find out they're going to have more of them, I'll sit up and go through that again later, but it honestly might not be that. Because they still got to attach some images right here as well. This isn't really fully updated. I might be able to find out more if I go to something like, say, the Twitter or whatever, but I don't really know where that's at. But believe you and me, these souls are looking very, very powerful. But the conditions to actually unlock them are insane. So that's something to know. I will say this right out the gate. There is a new book that you're going to need that's in the shop. It is that rainbow book if you've seen the previous video. The previous Kamihime project video. You will need that rainbow book. There's the gold ones, there's the silver ones, and then there's a rainbow book now. You will also need 150 regalia. Probably of all elements, but maybe of one. Either way, grind the crap out of that. 150 regalia. Good luck. And that's just some of the requirements you have to go through. You have to go through a lot of loops and hurdles in order to do the release, but it is just woo. And to be quite honest, I think... I wonder if this is the actual page. And holy crap, you need so many gems? Oh. Oh. Yeah, you're so going to need to grind hard for this one. You need Phantom Beast Orbs to... What? Oh my god. Okay, so here's what I'm looking at. You're going to need all these materials. And I don't know if it's once per spirit or not. You need rank 100 to even do this. So that's a guarantee. And they definitely say review your strength. Considering the fact that you got to deal with Ragnarok catastrophe fights and even still the Guardian Angels, yeah, I'm pretty sure you need to be very freaking powerful. This says it might take several months just to open one. So that said, you probably do have to do this for each and every soul you want to unlock. Good luck. But let's go over the details. So yeah, this is the easiest part, hands down. You need 10 of those cores from the Ragnarok fight. You need 30 silver books. I got over a bunch of silver books because I'm just not using them. You need to go through all the storyline stages and get all 7 of these items right here. So, yeah, you actually do need to go back and farm storyline. Go figure. Once you do all that, you'll be able to, and you also need 100,000 gems. Once you do all that, you'll be able to go into stage 2, where you need 20 of those gold books. You need 3,000 Adoan orbs. You need 150 of these crystals and 150 of each fang. And you need 200,000 gems on top of that. Once you do stage 2, you need to do stage 3. You need 1 of those rainbow books. 5 are Chalicum. 150 of those crystals. And 250 of each of the higher grade of these little Ragnarok, not Ragnarok, raid items. And to be quite honest, these are actually kind of easy to rack up. You can jump gotcha and pull a lot of these, but if you really want to grind for more, be my guest. This is easily the hardest part of this. You need 150 of these crystals, and they don't drop that often. Oh, and I hope you got more Chalicum in your hands because, oh yeah, stage 3 needs 300,000 gems. Stage 4, you need that rainbow book. Wait, didn't we just need that? Wow, you need multiple copies of the rainbow books. Eesh. You need that rainbow book. You need 10 more Chalicum. You need a Dragonic Eye. Not a shard, a Dragonic Eye. And 150 of each Regalia. And you need 400,000 gems. But wait, there's more. Stage 5. You need 3 of those rainbow books. 500 soul points. Another Dragonic Eye. Another 20 silver books. Another 10 gold books. Another 150 of those crystals. It says 150 Fang. I don't know if you need all of them or just one element. You need 50 Magna Cavises. And you need 50 of the little items you'll get from the Guardian Angel fights when they come in later. And that's 500,000 gems on top of that. So you need all these items along with a grand total of 1.5 million gems. And then you finally get 1 soul. Not all of them. 1 soul. And then on top of that, you need a dedicated weapon on as well, which needs to be fully maxed out. And when you clear the 5th step, it says, at the time the condition of the final limit breakthrough 4th stage, I will inherit the attribute, the type, and the bonus value of the consumed weapon. You have to re-execute the 5th step if you want to change elements too. Ooh, so you might have to decide on an element. I am absolutely saving this all for Light if that's the case, because Light's my strongest team. It may change later down the line, but Light is extraordinarily powerful, believe me, on that one. But holy crap. So much to do. So much to do. So now I think I can end this video. This is all the stuff you need to unlock just one of them, along with getting their soul weapon maxed out. Oh my god. They are exceedingly powerful, I can tell. Especially the healer. The healer, you probably will not die if you get her. But it's like, all the hoops and hurdles you gotta go through, you're definitely going to be grinding the game for months on end. And if you're playing this thing as often as I am, you honestly might take a year just to get 1 soul. Because I don't have all that time to really grind all this stuff too, so that's really not helping me. But, The first few stages aren't even that bad. It's just tedious. Maybe even the third stage, even though you do need like a chunk of Orchalicum, that's like a full 20 mission guild order right there, along with a lot of these crystals. When you start hitting stage 4, that's when things are going to start taking a monstrous amount of time. Those regalias are not easy to rack up. And then on top of that, you gotta get other stuff too, like magnet canvases, the little guardian angel stuff. They're making sure you play every aspect of the freaking game in order to unlock these souls. Even the storyline. So yeah, good luck. But anyways, that's all for this. More of this is probably coming soon because I'm not surprised that they add another 5 souls to the list. You know, the ones that are based off of Mordred and all that, but hey, of course it's going to take some time in order to do all this. But, anyways, that's all for now. More Kamihime projects going to come soon. I'm probably going to do a few more future look videos of this stuff. But, for now guys, take care.